you think the Chinese are a military threat or an economic threat? Where would you when you say they're the number threat, are you suggesting military?
They're number one competitor economically, no question about it. We're the number one economy. They're number two. As far as the military is concerned, their military, the France has great air avionics and aviation, but France is not an enemy. Nor is and Britain has air, and so does other countries that are on our side. So as far as a military threat, yes, they are a military threat as well. And they may have more ships than we do, but I think our quality is better. It's not quantity, it's quality. But they're getting stronger and stronger in AI and everything else. They cheat, they steal our intellectual property, and they're a very industrious, smart people who are held back by their government. And as much it is surprising the whole thing with WTO, and you're talking about in the late '90s, bringing them in. You figure, all right, they're going to see freedom, and they're not going to want to go to be subjugated and limited. But somehow the Communist Party, one party rule, continues.
Yeah, yeah, and we have a mayor in New York by all practical, definitions, a communist, right? I mean, probably elected our first communist in America, in American history. Of course, Bernie Sanders, he's been there a few years, but I've set him aside a minute. So let me come back to Virginia a minute. So you talked about the number one and number two issues with, Virginia governor. One is education, and one of your comrades, to use a nice term.
Don't use a comrade, friends, colleagues.
Yeah, one of your colleagues who ran with you as lieutenant governor did not win, Michael Farris. And Michael Farris, the blessing of him not winning was he ran off and started this thing called the Homeschool Legal Defense Foundation. He started Patrick Henry College and went on and done all these great things that he may not have done had he won. And point I'm making is that education's changed quite a bit, right? I mean, there's now 3.5, 4 million people that are homeschooling their kids. You got parochial schools happening. And Governor, I am a dad of 5 kids, and the most we spent doing homeschool any one year was about $12,000 for all 5 kids, right? We are paying right now about close to $20,000 to educate one kid in the state of Virginia. That's a lot of money. And my kid can't go to Lafayette High School or Warwick High School here in Newport News and go play for that football team like the Tim Tebow Bill down in Florida said you could do. What would you suggest, given this environment? This is new for, this was not an issue when you were running, but
It was to some extent. But it's funny you bring this up because I was the number of students in Virginia that are homeschooled has gone way up, through the years. I remember when I was a delegate, when I was running for Congress, running for governor, there was a guy named Will Shaw in Orange County and headed up the homeschooler parents. And there were just very few of them. But my natural Jeffersonian view is, let people do what they want. And I consider the most important unit, let's say, in our society as the family. It's where you learn right from wrong and manners and politeness and all of that.